The year is 1362 and Orhan Gazi has died from natural causes. Orhan Gazi had retired from public life in 1360, so his eldest son, Murad, was in charge of the Ottoman government since then. Murad never thought he would become the ruler of the Ottoman Beylik due to his older brother Suleiman being the more popular choice with the army and the Ottoman elite. But after Suleiman's early death in 1357, Murad became the next choice to succeed his father. Unlike his big brother who spent most of his youth on the battlefield, Murad spent a bulk of his time as a young prince with scholars and scientists, where he grew a love for learning. The well-educated prince succeeded Suleiman Pasha as the head of the army after the latter died from a hunting accident. During a raid into Bulgaria, which resulted in the capture of Philippopolis, Murad got the news that his father had died and quickly started his march back to Bursa to crown himself as the leader of the Beylik. Murad also defeated his stepbrothers Shahzada Halil and Shahzada Ibrahim, who were also vying for power after Orhan's death. Both were killed on the orders of Murad after they were captured. After a couple of months, Murad would enter Bursa to be crowned as the next Sultan of the Beylik. After consolidating his power in Bursa, Murad marched on Europe again. During the 1350s, the Serbian Empire was at its height during the rule of Stefan Dursun IV, but after his death in 1355, his weak son, Stefan Dursun V, became emperor. Within years, the Serbian Empire disintegrated, which saw local lords split away from the Serbian capital. The Balkans were in utter chaos as local Serbian lords fought amongst each other. Before marching on Europe, Murad, like his uncle before him, revolutionized the army, this time creating the Janissary order. With the help of Grand Vizier Jandarlı Halil Pasha the Elder, the famous Janissary Corps was born. The Janissary Corps itself was made out of Christian men that had been captured during the many raiding parties done by the Ottomans during these times. Murad instituted a tax of 1/5 of all slaves taken during war to be sent to him, and it was from this tax that Murad first constructed the Janissary Corps, a personal army loyal to him only. The Corps only numbered around a couple hundred soldiers during the time of Murad. The new Ottoman army marched on Adrianople, which was a heavily defended city with high walls, which was important for the Byzantines. A relief force sent by Emperor Vukasin, a Serbian emperor allied to the Byzantines, was intercepted by the Ottoman general Haji Ilber. The 30,000-strong Serbian army laid down their camp near the Muratsa River for the night. They hoped to relieve the city of Adrianople from the Ottomans with ease in the coming days. The Serbian army neglected to take any measures to protect their camp overnight, and they proceeded to feast throughout the night instead. Haji Ilbey, who was tasked to scout out the Serbian army, decided to make a surprise attack instead, without waiting for reinforcements. 5,000 Ottoman raiders attacked the Serbian camp in the darkness of night. Chaos followed as many Serbian soldiers drowned near the Muratsa River while trying to retreat. Thousands of Serbians perished during the battle, and Haji Ilbey, with his 5,000 soldiers, returned back to the siege of Adrianople as heroes. The Battle of Srpsundar was a devastating defeat for the Serbian realm, and the major victory for the Ottomans in Europe. Adrianople was captured by Lala Shahin Pasha sometime later, and Murad decided to move the capital there to show off his presence in Europe, which earned him a lot of prestige in the Islamic world. The Ottomans would rename their new capital to Edirne. Europeans were starting to get concerned with the Ottoman threat in the east, so Pope Urban V managed to whip up enough support for a crusade against the Ottomans. Thus started the Safavid Crusade led by Amadeus VI of Savoy. The Byzantines, who were on their last legs, also agreed to end the Great Schism between the Catholic and Orthodox Church by Emperor John V converting to Catholicism if Europe came to their aid against Murad. Bulgaria, Hungary, and the Byzantines, and many Western knights all united against Murad during the summer of 1366. The following crusade was a partial success, which saw the Crusaders take the Dardanelles back from Murad. Murad, instead of fighting the Crusaders head-on, prompted to wait for them to leave, which they did in 1367. The crusade was highly unorganized and failed to beat the Ottomans back to Anatolia. Running out of funds, Amadeus VI returned to Savoy, thus ending the crusade, while Murad's Beylik was split in half. In 1371, the Serbians were back for revenge for the Battle of Srpsunda and marched a 20,000 to 70,000 strong army towards the Ottoman capital of Edirne, led by the king himself, King Vukasin. Edirne's governor, Lala Şahin Pasha, gathered his garrison force of 800 men and started scouting the Serbian army. Murad was campaigning in Anatolia, thus couldn't come to the aid of Lala Şahin Pasha. While the Serbian army was camping near the Muratsa River, Lala Şahin Pasha stormed outside the city walls and wreaked havoc on the Serbian camp. The entire Serbian army was in full rout, and the Serbian emperor, King Vukasin, had been killed during the battle. The Battle of Maritsa, like the Battle of Srpsunda, secured Ottoman presence in Europe. The Ottomans expanded westwards during the aftermath of the battle, and vassalized many Serbian princedoms to the west. While Lala Şahin Pasha was fighting against the Serbians in the Balkans, Murad was campaigning in Anatolia. The once powerful coastal beyliks in Anatolia, like the Aydın Beylik, had been beaten, and Murad started occupying the countryside, while his son Bayezid was fighting against the Karaman Turks. The Karamans were attacking the Germanics, who were allied with the Ottomans. Also, the Karaman Turks were a major thorn for the Ottomans due to the Karamans allying themselves with Bosnia and many Serbian princes in order to repulse Ottoman influence in the region. This is why Murad declared war on the Karamans and their allies, Tekke and the Hamids. It would be Bayezid's rapid deployments and tactics that would win the war in Anatolia for the Ottomans. He would be nicknamed Yıldırım, or Lightning Bolt, for many of his victories in Anatolia. Bayezid also married the daughter of the Bey of the Germanics, which saw the Ottomans gain more territory in Anatolia as a wedding gift. It was during this time that the Jandar Beylik up to the north swore loyalty to the Ottomans. Within a span of 80 years, the Ottomans went from being the smallest Turkish Beylik in Anatolia to the largest. By 1373, the Byzantines were paying tribute to Murad in order to ensure their independence from the Ottomans. Resenting his father's decision to pay tribute to a Muslim state, Andronicus IV rebelled against his father John V. Also seeing an opportunity, Murad's youngest son, Savcı Bey, decided to revolt against his father. Savcı Bey was the youngest of Murad's 3 sons, so he knew most likely that he would never be sultan, so he decided to ally himself with Andronicus IV. With their sons revolting against their rule, Murad and John V became allies. Both Savcı Bey and Andronicus IV prepared for battle against their dads near Constantinople. But right before battle started, Savcı Bey's army defected to Murad. The rebellious princes, knowing that all was lost, fled to Greece, but at the end they were captured by Murad and John V. Savcı Bey was executed on the orders of Murad, while Andronicus IV was jailed by John V. Shortly after Andronicus was imprisoned, John V sold the island of Tenedos to the Venetians to repay their debts. The Genoese, however, did not take kindly to the islands being in the hands of the Venetians, with whom they were in war with. Thus, in 1376, the Genoese based in their colony in Galata helped free Andronicus from John V. Murad, seeing an opportunity to gain more power in the Byzantine court, decided to help Andronicus IV escape from John V. Andronicus IV assumed control of Constantinople and imprisoned his father John V and his younger brother Manuel. In return for their help, Andronicus IV gave the island of Tenedos to the Genoese and Gallipoli back to the Ottomans. Andronicus IV ruled until 1379, until his father John V and his brother Manuel escaped and fled to the court of Murad. After apparently agreeing to succeed the Byzantine enclave of Philadelphia to the Ottomans, John V was re-established on the throne with the help of Venetian ships and Ottoman soldiers. This conflict further weakened the Byzantine Empire, which was being surrounded by a massive and ever-expanding Ottoman kingdom.